Welcome back to Sportsman's Paradise Podcast with your two anchors, Kim McGuire and Chase Carpenter. How you doing, Chase?
I'm hot. It's fucking hot outside.
It's fucking really hot outside.
Not the good hot. It's steaming.
It's miserably hot. And someone doesn't have AC in his car.
Yeah, it's fine when there's no traffic because all the windows are down, just rolling. So it's all right. But when you run into 5 o'clock traffic, it is miserable.
Yeah.
Road rage becomes real.
Becomes very real. And 3 o'clock traffic now that school's out.
Life or death out there for me.
It's a bitch. But on this episode, we have a special guest, Kyle Oden from Ponchatoula, Louisiana. How you doing, Kyle?
I'm doing good. How about y'all?
Doing good. We're happy to have you on. We actually got to go fishing with Kyle maybe, a month ago?
Yeah, about a month.
About a month ago, we got 15 nice reds and some bonus reds after, and we will dive into that later on.
It's a great trip.
This episode. But one thing I wanted to say was we all three got totally effed in the A with traffic today. I mean, it's traffic in here it's fucking so absurd. I can't stand it.
Touching on that too. I feel your pain, Chase.
Yeah.
Because I don't have any air conditioner in my car either.
Oh, what happened? Did it just go out recently?
So I bought the car like a few months back and it worked fine as soon as I left the dealership. It just it works for 5 minutes as soon as I turn it on and it's gone.
Do you have to replace the compressor?
No.
That's what I have to do. I don't want to spend $2,000 on it.
Yeah.
Lazy.
I don't know what it is.
August is miserable.
Yeah. Winter's almost here. In like 4 months, it's going to be cold.
Heater still works though.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it does.
It won't be cold though. I feel like, but it's never fucking cold.
I know.
People who are always like, "Oh, it's so cold. I can't wait till the summer."
It's not that fucking cold. Do you remember 6 months ago? Like, are you kidding me?
Think of days like today.
Yeah.
So Kyle, tell us a little about yourself, the background on fishing. I know you fished some tournaments, the Redfish World Series.
I haven't got to fish the actual Redfish World Series yet. But I really jumped into red fishing hard. I'd say about 2 or 3 years ago, I really started to make my way into it. And at first I sucked. I was horrible. Got at the bottom every time. I didn't realize how good these guys were because I originally started off doing kayak fishing. And I did a lot of tournaments kayak fishing. And I did fairly well in them. And I got a boat. I was like, kayak ain't happening no more.
Yeah. And if you can't see it, he's sitting down right now, but Kyle is what, 6'10"?
6'10".
6'10". He's an absolute unit, baby.
I was built for sight fishing.
Yeah.
Not in a kayak.
And he's got a standing tower, so now you're 20 feet up.
Yeah. Got to wear the red flashing light on my head, as they tell me, so the airplanes don't catch me.
Oh, fuck, that's a good one. That is a good one. But yeah, so then you got a boat and you started joining those tournaments?
Yeah, pretty much. And I just worked my way up. I mean, the first year I fished with a couple buddies, and then I fished with my dad a few times. And then I got a partner who was into it pretty much just as big as I was. And that's what really kind of set it off as far as fishing for me. When you got somebody else who's into it as much as you are, and you go out there and fish and you're actually competing and doing well against these other guys, makes it a lot more fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What are the barriers of entry to get into the redfish tournaments? Do you just go to qualifiers, or you just got to pay?
So most tournaments, you just got to pay. There's a few that you have to qualify for, like the Redfish World Series you were talking about. I mean, in my opinion, that's the biggest, most well put together tournament that they have. Gritter does an awesome job with those. And I saw y'all had Josh Galt on a while back. Well, I fished that tournament. He won the Redfish World Series Open. And I was one of the people who was sitting up on the stage that he kicked off.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, that dirty dog.
I don't mind losing to Josh. Josh he's a hell of an angler.
Yeah,
he's very good.
He is. He just had a sweet little video put on his Instagram with like some professional photographer or something. It was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. I saw that.
But he's a beast.
Yeah, he qualified this year too. Again, I saw for the Redfish World Series, so he'll be fishing it. I wanted to fish more this year, but I'm giving it a break for now. Me and the
Working
wife
and
trying to
having
get
fun.
everything together. She's in school, trying to get a house and all that. And we don't have enough sponsors to pay for everything.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Yeah, you got to. But yeah, it's fun. You're still fishing every weekend and working, so it's still fun.
Oh, yeah.
But one thing I loved, you were saying you just got a new boat. And I don't know if the first boat you were talking about is this one, but if everyone's watching this on YouTube, which you should right now, if you don't have it, switch on over to YouTube. And and we're pulling up a picture of Kyle's boat. All right, let's do it. What the hell? Oh, here we go. Here we go. I got one. Got a cold beer, y'all. We're grabbing some cold Coors Pures. Shout out Coors Pure, one of the greatest, most refreshing light beers out there, made with real
Sure.
real water from the rivers of.
And if you want to get tropical, try a Vizzy lemonade hard seltzer. It's delicious.
Yeah, Vizzies are awesome too. And here's a boat. So we got an 18 foot?
It's 1862.
But it's really 19
It's
feet.
really 19 and a half with the hunt deck. And I couldn't be more pleased with it. I mean, the boat goes anywhere I want to. I mean, of course, being the low sides and all, it's made for sight fishing, not rough water, but it'll still take its little beat.
Yes, sir. And he's got the old
175 VMAX.
yes, sir. VMAX in the house. How's that baby treated you? Any problems with it?
Oh, yeah, I blew it up already.
Oh, shit. Shit. Did you have to rebuild it?
Yeah, but that was my fault because I had a 3-blade prop on there, and I was running so much shallow water that I couldn't get out of the hole quick enough. So now that I've put a 4-blade on it since it's been rebuilt, I haven't even had the thing stop pissing yet.
It's nice.
And you got that jack plate that lifts it up so high out of the water, the prop's almost out of it. You go in just mud.
Oh, yeah.
That was
Like
awesome.
I showed y'all that day we were running. I mean, it'll run in an inch of water as long as there's mud and not sand under it, and it'll still piss perfectly fine. It's Yamahas. You can't beat them.
Yeah, I agree. Poor Chase. I don't even think we've discussed this on the pod. Chase has a Honda.
Yeah.
And the poor bastard started smoking on his brother when they were driving it.
Pulling my dad's boat, and he was giving my dad shit, calling his old Aquasport Old Faithful. I love that boat. A piece of shit, and then boom, the engine started smoking and couldn't get out of gear or something.
Oh, he couldn't get out of gear? What did he have to do? Just turn it off? Well,
It was
can you
right
even
next to the
turn it
dock.
off?
It was next to the dock. It was so lucky, and then he just I think
It worked?
Jay might have swam and pulled the rope in.
Jesus, that sucks.
Yeah, so we had to bring the trolling motor up and troll to the boat launch, which it got there pretty swiftly.
But I mean, hey, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Boat stands for break out another 1,000, without a doubt.
That's why you get a friend named Richmond. Break out another Richmond, the boar, baby.
Boar.
The boar. The boar hadn't been mentioned in a while.
I know.
So my boat is also having troubles like we were talking about earlier, and I'm having the boar come out Friday to help me take apart the motor and see if we can't fix that son of a bitch.
Yeah,
So hopefully we can do it.
it's a Yamaha. We'll get it done.
It's a Yamaha. They know that these bastards know about that Old Faithful. I mean, 92 40 horsepower 2-stroke. Purrs like a little kitten, baby.
Yeah.
But on our trip, when we went with Kyle, we went out of PAC, and we slayed them.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely a lot better day than I thought we were going to have. The day before, me and a buddy went out, and I mean, we still put together our limit. There's always fish. That's one of the reasons I love Point of Shin. There's 2 reasons I love Point of Shin. There's always fish. There's not a lot of people, and you can't beat the environment that Ellie Mullen and Lisa Mullen put on for you at PAC Kayak Rentals.
Mm-hmm.
That place is really nice.
Yeah, I love it there.
I mean, I want to go down there a lot more.
They treat you like family.
They do.
Especially for kayakers. I mean, having a full service, it's got like 5-slip kayak launch. It makes it a breeze to launch a kayak. Because I don't know if y'all have ever tried to launch a kayak like off the side of the road and
Oh, it
stuff.
sucks.
Because I had a 14-foot Hobie. And dude, they're not fun.
No, it sucks launching. I just got a P-Rogue, and I threw a little trolling motor on the back of that bad boy. And I never really go out on that thing by myself because it's just a pain to put in the water. I mean, it's not worth it. And I'll just break the boat out and go out with the boat. I'd rather that, but then the trailer might break. And
the cool thing about Pack is you can catch fish like right there, right off.
Oh yeah, like I said, with a kayak, I mean, they got a lot of older guys who go out right there, and they're not going to be able to go far from the launch because I ain't gonna lie, it's one thing. They got some current rolling through that little canal right there. And those guys will go sit right there all day. And I mean, they'll just wax a fish, especially certain times of year when the trout start moving in. That works as a highway for the trout to come in. And guys will just go right out in front of the boat launch and whack them. That
was like when we went out a month ago, you could see the bait. We were probably 500 yards away from the launch, and there are 10 boats out there fishing. So
they're catching them too.
Get a kayak and go out there. And you can rent a kayak from them.
Oh, yeah. They actually have my old kayak. That's the camouflage Hobie sitting up there. That's my old one. So
if you're out there, rent that one.
Yeah, I wouldn't suggest renting it. It's been through a little bit. No, I'm just
Don't get the camo one. How long is so? If you want to rent it, do you have to rent it in advance? So like most weekends, they'll be rented out beforehand.
Yeah. Most days nowadays, yeah, you got to pretty much call because they've blown up so quick. Back when I used to go a lot, when I first started like 3 years ago. Eddie used to love telling me because I had a little 12-foot of sin that had a hole in it and no seat. And I would go fish all day long on that thing. And I'd be dying when I got back to boat launch. And then one day he gave me a seat to use. And then that night I went and ordered a seat. But yeah, most of the time you got to rent them pretty far in advance just because there's so many people that come down there. And he has a ton of kayaks. Like, I don't know if all of them get rented out every weekend. But I know he has a good majority of them, so it's best to call them.
Love that. And they have a great little shop in there with every bait you can think of and great deals.
Lure that we're using.
The bugs, baby.
Bugs jig. Secret weapon.
They really are. Secret weapon. Made in where? Texas?
Yep. The guy makes them over in Texas.
Yeah. Which sucks.
And if you ever go look at his website, like what you saw at the shop, like he's expanded so much wider than that. He's got a ridiculous. I saw he's working on some type of new trout bait too that looks legit.
Let's go.
Damn.
It looks almost like a matrix shad back, but it's got the fur and everything, like the little bugs jigs we were using.
Yeah.
And I know they're gonna work good. I'm waiting for them to come out.
And they're all hand tied, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Works his ass off. Hand tied. Yeah, definitely.
Damn.
I was using a spoon at first when we went, and I wasn't catching shit, and I threw on the jig and then caught a gator. So you catch whatever you want out there.
You can catch it. I was throwing that little spinner bait action.
Yeah,
I'm addicted to the spinner bait. I love spinner bait fishing. I actually just went and bought yesterday. I was going to check out some pistols and went and bought the Matrix Shad spinner bait, the new one that just came out. Have you seen that one?
No.
Yes, I have, because I'm subscribed to their bait box. And if y'all haven't, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah,
you get so much stuff out of it.
Stuff that I wouldn't buy.
Yeah, stuff that you would never think to buy. Like I got some type of shrimp in it the other day. I didn't even know Matrix Shad made shrimp.
I didn't know that.
I mean, hands down.
They got the is it kind of small?
No, not the sheep's head shrimp. I ordered about 8 of those.
Those are awesome.
Dude,
I've never used one, but are they?
Yeah, they're weedless. And believe it or not, as small as they are, they're still easy to cast.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
I love them. They're awesome.
Matrix shrimp, brand new.
Click it.
Let's click it. Let's see. Let's
Can you pull it up?
Yeah, we can pull it up. Let me share this screen. It looks awesome. All right, here it comes. Here it comes. Matrix share.
But yeah, the one that I'm talking about that I got in the bait box, I had no idea. It looks almost like a DOA shrimp.
Yeah.
Oh, is it not this one?
No, it's not that one. So that's the one that I ordered a bunch of. Like I said, they're super small. They work great for sight fishing when the fish are real finicky. I mean, you can't beat them. When you can get a bait that small that casts that good and it still sinks because it's got a little weight to it, you can't beat it. The reds just about can't turn away from it.
Oh,
but no, they have one that looks like a DOA shrimp.
Damn.
And we caught quite a few trout on them. I like them.
Awesome. Stood up to the test too.
Oh yeah. Tough. Just like everything else. It's like Matrix. That's the only brand of crawfish that I use because simply they're just tough.
They are
crawfish. You can have perch bite it, and it's gonna rip the claw off. The matrix crawls,
They're dirty.
they don't ever. And
And-
Chaz, he's just a hell of a fisherman. I love watching his videos. That dude, I've never seen anybody in my life that can catch fish in the Wrigley's year around. Like that.
Yeah.
It's just insane.
It makes it look so easy.
It does.
It's insane. But this is their the new spinner bait. So it's got like a free spin up here. So I think when you swim, the thing that darts all around.
And you can tie it in 2 different areas, huh? Above the spinner and in the middle.
No, just the middle.
Oh, you can't. So what's that loop at the end?
So the beads don't fall off.
Ah, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also saw they come out with some type of new string. It's supposed to be
Yes.
coming. It's supposed to be coming in my bait box today, and he was talking about it. I've never heard of it before. The silky smooth or something like that.
And he said it's like it's not braid, but it's not
He
normal.
said it's like fluorocarbon, but it's as tough as braid.
and it's thin.
Wait, so
Yeah.
is he changing the game?
Yeah.
Well, I think there's maybe been a couple small companies come out with it or something, but I don't know. I saw my bait box got paid for today, so I'm anxious to get in and slap it on one of the reels and go catch something.
Yeah, I want to see it.
People in Florida will go nuts for this because they got to use fluorocarbon.
Oh yeah,
over there.
and especially when you put that smaller line on there, the thinner the line you can get, the better all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, especially like y'all guys saw how clear of water we're fishing, and I mean, I throw 60-pound braid. It's thick as all get out, but it's tough. And on tough days, the fish won't eat simply because they see the line. They won't.
Yeah,
People talk a lot about Florida and stuff like that. Louisiana can be the same way if you're in the right water.
I agree. And I like to tie like a little 12-pound leader on it. But the bad thing about tower fishing with the 12-pound leader, you can't flip that son of a bitch. You got to go down there and
I
get it.
cut my leader off pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah. I learned to start using the stronger line to boat flip, so I don't have to fall off the tower coming down because it's a long fall to the bottom of the boat.
It is. It is. But yeah, this line is 0.009 of an inch.
Yeah,
Jeez.
that's insane. He said it's 15 pound, I think he said.
Yeah,
I
15
was watching
pound.
the video on it the other day. Yeah, 15 pound.
Wow.
And
I got to get some.
And it's so thin, you can fit so much on your reel,
Oh, yeah.
he was saying. So that's going to be awesome. Looking forward to that. Too bad I just bought a bunch of Power Pro and re-rigged all of my rods. All of my reels. So.
I had so many problems with Power Pro. Power Pro, I used to be a diehard Power Pro fan, but it's like they changed something with it. And for some reason, it was only as soon as I'd tie a knot, as soon as I go out on the water, the first fish I'd catch, I wouldn't even have to set the hook. As soon as he bite it, it'd snap.
Shit.
And I don't know why. I was using 50 pounds, 60 pound, all that. You wouldn't think that snap.
Must have been a
And
big redfish.
I'd
No kidding.
I'd retie it, and then I wouldn't break off all day long. Well, it cost me a couple fish in the tournament, so I got mad, and that's when I ended up trashing it. And now I've used Berkeley X5. Now it is thicker than the Power Pro, but I've never in my life had a fish snap off on it. Ever. Not on that Berkeley X5. It is tough. It's like rope.
I love that. I've heard that about Power Pro. Luckily, it hadn't really happened to me yet. But I think it didn't happen to me because the first time I bought them, I rigged all my bait casters up with them, and then I didn't change it for maybe 2 years. Like I kept the same string, and it always worked. And then I just bought new ones and changed them all out. Still hadn't happened yet, but
Well, I mean, that's
now
the thing
I'm
too,
on
Kent. I mean, like, you got to actually get the fish to bite it in order for it to break.
Yeah. Shit.
you're fucking right. You're fucking right about that.
That's what, you believe it or not, that day we all caught 15, Ken outfished every single one of us. And we were fishing 3 of us off of that tower.
Getting nervous in the
Kent-
beginning.
I was stuck
Kent was
in the middle. I was so pissed. That one still eats me alive when the first one we saw, when we saw that group of like 15, 20 of them.
Oh, yeah.
And then we all threw in there and it bit mine right when I set the hook, just snapped off. I was like,
you could see them. The water was crystal clear. There's just schools of them swimming down the canal, and they're just nipping at the tails of everything we throw at them.
It was awesome. We caught them on everything. I mean, we caught them on a spoon,
I didn't catch
spinner.
one on spoon.
Caught them on the bugs, caught them on top water crawls. I forgot about that. That was fucking awesome. got some sweet footage of that.
Got a drum on the crawl too. That's pretty
Yes. Yeah, that was a fun day.
Oh, those crawls on top water are my favorite to throw.
Yeah, that's
all
my-
the time. If they're like that day was weird. Like early in the morning, they weren't eating much.
Yeah.
But the later in the day they got, the more active. Like you saw, like 12 o'clock in the day, they had schools of them tailing down the bank.
They went for everything.
Yeah, they went for anything you put in front of their face.
That's why you go out for days like that. I mean, it was unbelievable. And then I want to go out with Cole, with our buddy one day, he's a big fan of spoons and spinners. And I want to try the top water crawl with those things.
Always wanted to try to crawl there. A weedless, and you could just drop it in front of them rather than having to work the spoon faster.
One thing you might know this. So sometimes his property is like, we're sight fishing and like I feel like it's like this much water.
Yeah.
I feel like when we were fishing they had like the fish were in that, but it kind of dropped off.
Yeah.
Will the crawl still like work if they're just chilling on like really shallow water, like the whole entire pond?
Oh yeah. That's the best time to use it, really.
Boom.
I mean,
nice.
For me,
Let's go.
we're fishing deeper canals this time of year just because those fish, I find it a lot of times they're either in ponds close to deep water or they're on the canals with grass in deeper water. That's just simply because it gets hot. They can go to that cooler water and cool off.
Perfect. That's what I was thinking. All right.
But
awesome.
yeah, I mean, during October is my favorite time to fish redfish, hands down. October is just like
pumpkin patch.
Oh, it is gorgeous. I love it. You can go anywhere in Louisiana Marsh and catch redfish in October, it seems like, and you can throw anything at them. That's like once October comes, all I'm slinging is crawfish. Just about. I'll go out there and you can see them tailing with their head out the water and everything. It looks like they're looking at you. They got their eyes out the water.
What's your favorite colors to use? I like the orange and yellow one.
Tiger,
that's it.
And I love the white.
Orange and yellow.
Not orange. It's more like purple and gold.
Yeah.
Purple gold. Yeah.
Sorry,
I know what
orange.
you're talking about. So I use that one. Mine depends on the day.
There's an orange and green one. There definitely is an orange and green one.
Because I'm pretty
Is
sure
it orange and green or yellow and green? Because I think I've got every color that he makes.
I'm addicted
got
to
a
buying
ton of
Matrix.
them.
I'm addicted to Matrix.
Every time I just grab a pack.
Chaz, I know you're not listening to this, but if you are, hey, someone clip this and send it to Chaz. Hey, Chaz, listen to this episode. Sponsor us, dog.
Yeah.
Come on, dog.
Those crawls.
But let's see. I'm pulling them up. Let's see.
That's the one. Purple.
Yeah. So purple and
yellow.
gold.
Yeah.
Purple and yellow.
There's
This is the orange one I
They
was
call
talking
it
about. Orange and
Chinese
green.
bandit or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, I think this is the one you're talking about. Let's see. This one? No, Chinese bandits. This one. The cool. This bad boy. Yeah.
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 That's the one.
That is your
That's the
favorite.
one I
You
was
use
just-
that
that's
one
my
all the
favorite.
time.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
shit.
Bass will smoke them. When I go bass fishing, I just throw that.
Well, the marsh bass will smoke anything.
Yeah.
The marsh bass, you could throw a hook that's silver at them and they'll eat it most of the time.
They will.
But no, so like me, when I'm throwing crawls, it seems like, and I want to say I heard this on one of Chaz's videos one day, and I tested it and it worked. So cloudy days, I'll throw that Chinese bandit and they smoke it. And I'll throw a white crawfish and they don't hit it as good. But on a clear sunny day, I'll throw Chinese bandit and they'll still hit it, but they'll hit a white crawfish better. So anytime I have clear, good sunny days, I'll throw that white. And then anytime I have cloud coverage or overcast, I'm throwing that Chinese bandit. I haven't tried the other ones. I hear that orange one right there, though. Like when the crabs are real thick, I hear you throw it and they love it.
Okay, I love that. Yeah, and it is good to know.
I gotta get more crawls.
I got a whole big. I bought on accident. I bought a big bag of the crawls once.
Let's go. What color? White.
White,
Gotcha.
white, and then I had a bunch of Chinese bandits, but I don't know where they are. Or I just used them. They broke off.
Yeah.
But what else? You've been diving into the trout recently.
Yeah, now that I've stopped doing the tournament fishing, I can actually go on fun fishing trips. It's not always scout fishing. Used to every fishing trip, like my buddies used to hate going with me because I'll tell them like, hey, we're going scouting. So we'll pull up in a pond and there'll be like 100 redfish. I'm like, all right, we're leaving. And they're just livid because we only have like 2 fish in the boat. And I'm like, no, those are too good a tournament fish. We're out of here.
Nice. I love that. Throw down a big gate in front of that pond. I'm just kidding.
I mean, so before, like me, I've never done a ton of trout fishing. My grandpa and them, they were always real big into the wade fishing in Texas out of Port O'Connor and stuff like that. And they catch just like, they call them the big bull trout or whatever, the gator trout. Yeah. And I mean, he's caught some giants over there doing that. And I've always wanted to do it. I haven't got to do it yet, but I'm going to go do it one day.
Yeah, we got to.
But we've been going out, and I've been really learning the trout this year. And we've been going out of Point of Shin, like I said, running into Tambalier Bay and stuff, fishing rigs, hopping points. And it just seems like it's a great year for trout in general. Everywhere I've been going has had trout. It's not been like a year's past where you got to really search for trout. I mean, it just seems like just about everywhere you're going, you're catching trout. We've been Hopedale, Fouchon, Tambalier Bay, Point of Shin, and everywhere has just had a good trout bite, and all on plastics. I don't ever fish live bait, except for last week. We went out of Fouchon, and that was some of the funnest fishing I've ever done. Those live croakers on the bottom, and I mean, just catching those giant trout was a blast.
It is fun. I didn't fish live bait for so long, and then I went out with my uncle. I think the weekend after.
It was the weekend after because I remember you texted me.
And he only fishes live shrimp. I texted him and I was like, you want to troll around and fish plastics, or what do you want to do? He's like, no, idiot. We're gonna buy live bait. We're gonna throw it on the bottom. We're gonna go to holes. And I was like, all right, deal. And God, I forgot how awesome live bait is. I mean, it's like we caught a bunch of trout. A bunch of them were small, but like normally we don't catch trout in the back of like that Hopedale area. So I agree. It has been an awesome trout year. And when they were really inside, I would go out with I was going out a good amount by myself because every time I went like 4 times in a row and caught 25 each time. And I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. I was like, this is out.
Oh yeah. When you go out and put a limit of anything in the boat, it's a blast.
Mm-hmm. And on plastics, because I put $15 in the boat and then it's like, boom, I got food for a while. But yeah, anytime you gotta get a limit, it's nice. And then we got a 3-man limit.
Yep.
And then we stayed for what, 2 hours, an hour after, just fucking
kept on catching them.
Just kept catching them.
Those are the most fun because we'd see them tailing.
Yeah, there's no pressure.
Yeah, that was definitely.
They just hit whatever.
That was a good day. You usually don't get a midday like that. Like we had a little bit of cloud coverage, but the sun was still bright enough, and we had clear water and grass. I mean, that was a fun day.
And we had like 5 miles per hour winds right on our back.
Hot.
So it was like
just drifting.
It was perfect. That really was like a perfect day. And we actually did get out there pretty early.
Yeah. 7. We left 7, like 15 dock, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it was about 7:30, 7:45. I think because when we pulled up at the spot, I stopped and looked at my phone. I was like, okay, it was like 8:15 or 8:30 when we got there.
Yeah. So that's nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it was summertime.
Yeah.
Because we had our 3-man by what, 10 o'clock was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So 2 hours of 3-man. That was definitely.
We were losing
fun.
fish too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we lost a ton of fish.
We could have had it earlier.
We could have. And we had some small ones in the mix as well during it.
And we didn't execute on that big school that came on us at like 9:05. The first school we saw.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. That was one that broke me off.
We didn't execute on any of them. You remember that?
Yeah,
3 schools come by, like 30
shit.
to 40 fish.
I was nervous. That would have been it.
Pitching right in the middle of them, they're just biting the tail and letting it go.
That was bull. That was bull.
It was.
Then we thought Chase hooked into one, and then he fights it for about 10 minutes. I'm like, damn, that's a good redfish right there. I was like, he got a bull on it. Here comes an alligator.
Like, God damn it. And y'all both had a fish in the boat, and I hadn't had one yet.
And then I hooked that huge one that almost ripped the rod out of my hand.
Yeah.
And then it fucking got off. That one actually doesn't kill me as much as the one where the line broke. I was pissed about that one. Yeah, that was a fun ass day. And then how have your trips been? Tell us about the Carolina rig Croaker. Where were y'all at? Fouchon?
Oh yeah,
At rigs.
We went out of Fouchon. Like you were saying earlier, you forget how fun live bait is. So I'm not gonna lie, I haven't bought live bait until the other day in probably 3 years. It's probably been 3 or 4 years since the last time I bought any kind of live bait, shrimp or anything. And I went with one of my buddies. He's an excellent trout fisherman. He always goes and wears them out, and big trout too. So he's like, "Come on, let's go fishing." I was like, "All right." We drove all the way to Fouchon from Ponchatoula, which is almost 3 hours. So it's a little trip, especially for a one day because we drove back.
What time did y'all wake up?
We left Ponchatoula, I want to say at 2:45. We met at the gas station, I think it was. So, and he does it like I don't know how he does it because he does it like every day for like 2 weeks straight because he chases turnarounds. So when he's not, he's fishing every day.
Holy balls.
And it's crazy. But yeah, we went and we launched at Fouchon and we bought 200 live croakers and we bought 50 live shrimp just to have them. And we went out in the Gulf. It was a gorgeous day. They had some rollers coming through about 1.5 feet or so. And we pull up at the first rig, and there's like 4 boats, and it's a Tuesday.
Oh my God.
So I'm just like, what? I was like, this must be the community hole. And we pull up, and I mean, we're fishing for like probably about 30 minutes. And we didn't catch anything. I mean, we had a couple, I'm guessing it was sharks, because as soon as they grab it, you're snapping off. There's sharks everywhere out there. And we pull up, and then he just gets the wild hair to throw a popping cork. We're in 20 foot of water. And he throws a popping cork with about 1.5 liter. And it's just as soon as it hits the water, trout. And we sat there and he used every bit of those 50 shrimp and caught probably, I think he caught like 20 trout off of them.
Were you still trying to throw artificials at this point? Or no?
No, croakers gave up. Yeah,
we were throwing croakers.
Yeah, I was still throwing croakers because I was after big trout.
Yeah.
I could catch them. But the ones on the surface he was catching like that, they were still 15, 16 inches, 18 inches, some of them. I mean, just big trout. I've never got on big trout like that. I've always been a little 12 to 15 incher.
Yeah. We've had one day where we got on big trout.
Yeah, everything above 15 was nice.
It's such different fishing whenever you're catching big trout. It's so much fun.
And then they actually fight. Like when you catch a 12, 13 incher, it's like they'll hit you, and then it's like, okay.
Jet ski on the
So I still hadn't caught a fish on the croaker yet. So I'm sitting there trying. He's like, come on, let's go over here. And so we went over there to this other spot, and like first cast, I hook up. I'm like, man, it's a catfish or a redfish. I mean, it's fighting me hard. And pull it up, it's like a 4-pound trout. I'm like, oh my gosh. I ain't never seen something.
It didn't
like
surface
that.
at all, so you thought,
Because like I said, we're fishing like 20 foot of water on bottom. So like you said, normally when you're fishing the marsh and all or points, they come up and they're shaking and everything. Not these big trout.
No, I agree.
Big trout.
Big trout do not come up. My big trouts have never come up.
You're like, oh, it's a red. And then you freak out when you see it.
Yeah, you see it's a trout and it's like, oh my God.
Did you boat flip them or
yeah, I boat flipped them off. You can't help it. I'm a red fisherman. But yeah, so we ended up fishing the beaches and all that day. I think we had like 38 or 40, something like that. We were close to our limit, but man, every fish was over 15 inches. I mean, we had multiple 3.5 pound trout. You can't beat it. I'll take 33 to 4 pound trout than 50 that are 13 inches.
100%. I couldn't agree more. Everything about it's more fun.
Oh yeah. The fight, just knowing that you have a big trout on there. Because in the marsh, it's like, oh, there's another one. You just know he's little.
Yeah. You're like stressing. It's like you caught 30 fish. We got 5 keepers in the box.
That's the worst part is picking through the school trout. That's why I can't buy a live bait, especially like if I'm going to fish a big trout like that, I could see myself buying live bait from now on. But them little trout, they clear them 50 shrimp out in 20 minutes.
Yeah. Then you get your mix of your hard heads, your stingrays. I
hate hard heads.
Worst. Stingrays are the worst.
I like hard heads better than gaff top. I hate gaff top more than anything because they're so slimy.
Yes. especially big ones. I mean, if you're fishing a Carolina rig with a big
Whole
one,
thing.
that whole fucking strip
Covered in slime.
Yeah.
And see, I've heard of people eating the gaff top and they say they're good eating, but there's no way I could skin that slimy thing.
Yeah, I'm not going to eat that.
And I'm the worst when I'm trout fishing because every fish I catch, I brace him against my stomach and unhook him. So I get covered in trout slime every time.
My whole, and then I
just
wipe
Wipe it on your legs.
Yeah, you don't need a towel. You got your shorts.
That's like he stayed clean all day. Never had a drip of trout slime. I'm like, how do you do that?
That's a professional.
Practice.
Yeah, that's a professional. Yeah, trout. Yeah, that gets dirty when you catch a bunch.
Yeah.
I do the same thing right here, and then I'm right here. So now my whole entire fucking thing's dirty.
In the heat of the moment, I don't care where I'm putting my slime.
Yeah,
No.
that's
Get
how
the
I
line
am.
back
It's like
out
get
there.
it back out.
Yeah.
And then one thing he introduced to me that I've never used in my life is a catfish flipper.
Oh, they're the best.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
I've never used one in my life. He's like, here, watch this. Because I'm over there covered in gaff top slime trying to get them off.
Next time we
He
go
flips
together,
it, and I was just like, that's the best thing anybody's ever invented in their life.
It is.
It really is. Like whoever
Changed
came
the
up with
game.
that is like a genius.
next time we go fishing, I got an extra one. I'll bring it for you. I mean, it really is the
Oh
good.
yeah, because every gaff top I've ever caught, there's slime all over my boat from me ripping them off,
You just hold
and I
it on
get
the
so
outside.
mad.
And it's a bitch. Like I know you can grab them and not get stung, but it's a bitch doing that. I'd rather just leave it on the hook and then
You still get stung a little bit.
Yeah,
I've
man.
gotten stung plenty of times. Not bad, but like pricked.
I
Oh,
don't want to do that.
I've gotten stabbed. That's like where y'all were there when no, that was a couple of days after. So the guide out of there, Matt Carr, he's a great fisherman. He was out trout fishing not far from where we were at, and he caught a gaff top, and he said he was holding it trying to get off his line, and he wears like those real thin sandal like shoes, and that gaff top flipped off the line and stuck straight up in his foot. I was like, there's no way I'd have lost. I've been going to the house.
Yeah.
There's no way.
He cut it out with the barbs.
No, he said he ripped it.
Oh,
It was probably bleeding.
Wait, do catfish have like when it goes in, did things come out?
Oh yeah. Well, they don't come out. They're just built like that. They're built just like a hook on their bars, but they have multiple of them. So when they go in, they got like 3 or 4 barbs coming off of them that are ripping when you come out.
My brother kicked one and it went through his topsider and he pulled it out of his toe and he couldn't get it out and they had to go to the hospital and surgically remove it.
I almost passed out one night bow fishing. We were bow fishing in Man Shack, and I shot a big catfish. He was probably like, I say big. He was like 18, 20 inches. And I had always had the arrows that were rusted shut. You couldn't unscrew them and shake the fish off.
Yeah.
So we just do whatever we could to rip them out.
Yeah.
So I had this catfish, and I went to sling him against the side of the boat, and I missed the side of the boat, and he went in under my toenail all the way to the fish's belly. And I slung it so hard, he hit and he bounced and ripped himself out.
I was going to say, go to the hospital.
I laid in the bottom of the boat and I was just ghost white. I didn't pick up a bow or nothing the rest of the night. I was like, there's no way I can, like, I can't even think straight right now.
No way.
That was horrible.
Oh, God.
That's the worst like fish experience I've had for sure.
my God.
Oh, that's miserable.
Miserable. You lose your toenail?
Yeah, it fell off like 3 weeks later.
Oh,
it turned nice and black and everything.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, that's gross. That's not gross. That hurts like shit.
And gross. I mean, you
Yeah,
went under your
gross.
toenail. Ugh.
Yeah, his brother kicked one.
Yeah, that's stupid. Don't kick them.
Don't kick him.
Just deal with them calmly. Grab them under it and then start ripping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've lucked out. I've done that where I forget my the flipper or something. And I just have pliers like on them and then just start smashing them against the boat and then I'll miss. But luckily, it's never hit me.
You'll never forget it if you get
No,
hit.
yeah, I'm kind of a pussy with catfish. I don't want to ever get stung or whatever.
See, and that's probably
Whatever.
the best way to be because I'm not. When I get a catfish, I'm just mad. So I'm like using my anger on it to grab it and everything, and I get stuck every time.
Yeah. That's
Never
how I am. Like,
fails.
fuck this thing.
I'm gonna get murdered by a stingray. All right,
Stingrays,
Steve
I don't
Irwin.
like them.
I hate those. Get me more mad than catfish.
worst.
They always like eat the whole entire thing. So it's like bitch to get them out.
They're harder to fight, so it just takes longer to fuck with them because they suck them on the bottom.
Yeah.
I hate them. One guy said they're good to eat though.
I've only seen survival people.
See, and I've talked to a bunch of people like that. I'm good friends with the guy, Midnight Blue Bow Fishing Charters too, Nick Shermaine. And he took a group of guys out, and all they wanted to shoot was stingrays. And I didn't know we had stingrays this big.
I wonder if they wanted to go shark fishing.
No, they ate them. Yeah. So I've been told this. I don't know if it's true, but they say most of the scallops that you order at any restaurant is stingray. And I've heard everybody says you take like something that's like a circle and you punch out that stingray and cut the skin off and grill them. They said they taste just like scallops.
Damn. And they were shooting big ones?
Oh, dude, they like, if I'm not mistaken, he may be holding like first or second for the world record in Louisiana with a stingray. Like, dude, the size of the stingrays he was shooting were like unbelievable.
Holy shit.
He's
like
always a
big?
good time. Oh, way bigger than that.
Way bigger.
Like wingspan, probably like 6 or 7 foot.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Like I said, I didn't know we had stingray. Like he got it on video, if I'm not mistaken, or pictures on his Instagram somewhere. Midnight Blue Bow Fishing.
Oh my God.
I'm telling you, dude, the stingrays, that dude's just fun to fish with. His wife cooks for you when you go down there. They got an awesome cabin. That's the best food I've ever eaten.
Shit.
Oh
wow.
That's
that
like
place is a blast. Chandelier Islands.
No, but what is it? Yes, but the chandelier
Sound.
What the fuck is it called? The thing that stays out there. You go out and camp it. The Islander.
Oh,
the Chandelier
yeah,
Islander.
Yeah.
Apparently, that woman makes awesome food too. When
Really?
you go and visit.
So we're gonna bring tree branch cutters so we can cut the tail off and keep the next stingray. I want to try scallops.
We can
I
probably
wanna
just throw it
try.
in the ice chest.
Well, I don't want to get stung by that bitch.
Yeah, well, I don't want to bring tree cutters.
They're like this big. No, not the big ones, like the little ones.
the
Tree
little
cutters.
Like the little gardening tool. You
Okay.
just snap the tail off.
I'm in with that. We should bring that anyway. So whenever we see them, we just do it anyway.
Anyway.
No, you wouldn't believe how many stingrays I actually catch with the tails already cut off too.
Yeah.
Like I catch them like that all the time.
Really? Oh,
His
that's cool.
tail's already cut off. Or when you're
I
sight
believe
fishing, one big rule of thumb is if you see stingrays, you see redfish.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like I can't tell you how many redfish I've caught that are literally on the back of a stingray, just floating on top of them, waiting for them to pick up stuff off the bottom. And I can't tell you how many of them I see swimming around that shallow water that don't have a tail. They're just everywhere. Everybody cuts the tails off of them, I guess, and just lets them go.
Oh, because I bet they just hate the shit
You don't
out
want
of
to
them.
lose their hook either.
Yeah.
Well, I think everybody hates stingrays now that Steve Irwin's gone.
Yes, R.I.P.
Moment
R.I.P.
of silence.
Hey, but Steve Irwin wouldn't want us to hate them.
Yeah,
That's
he would.
true.
Yeah, he would.
No, he wouldn't.
No, he wouldn't.
He would not.
He would not, Kent.
Those fuckers. Fuck those things.
Oh.
But
It's like Jim Carrey and Ace Ventura, and he hates bats.
Yeah.
He loves animals.
but once I went fishing with have you follow Big Naughty Apparel? He's great. Or Naughty by Nature.
Ben Taylor.
Brent Taylor.
Brent.
He's great. But I went fishing with him one morning and we were idling past these people because they had a fish on, we thought, and they pull it up and it was a stingray. And this guy, he goes, I think Brent goes, shoot him. And the guys were like, really? And we were like, yeah. And like kind of laughed, like, obviously you're not going to shoot him. And then we just hear boom, boom, boom. And we turn around and these 3 guys just have pistols.
All 3 of them?
No, just one.
Oh,
Of them.
I was like,
But they're all
holy
looking
shit.
at him. One guy's like holding it. They're just, it was awesome.
Shot the shit out of him.
Yeah, it was so awesome. We were like, holy fuck, he actually did it. We're gonna do that once we get pistols. But sharks. We were talking about a lot of sharks when you went out. And I went sight fishing in the Wrigley's. Where I was really just gonna go fishing. And then the water was so clean, I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go troll around and try to find some. And I saw maybe 8 to 10 6 to 8 foot sharks in like this much of water in the water, like probably 4 feet, I would guess. And the water was like gin clear. and they were just swimming around. It was crazy. I kept trying to catch them, didn't get.
Yeah.
They kept swimming and swim away.
I've tried it too because I've seen them before, like up there where we were at in Point of Shin. One time we were trolling down this bank. I told him, buddy, I don't know what it was about this certain island, but there was always a bull red that was like 45 inches sitting in the same spot every single time. I told him, I'm like, there's always a bull red sitting right there. Well, then you could just see the tail of something, and he starts slinging at it, trying to catch it, and it won't eat. I'm like, I was looking, I was like, that's not a redfish. We got close. It was like a 4-foot bull shark. Like no way. But Venice was the worst I've ever seen. Like we went to Venice sight fishing. We were like right on the outskirts of the Gulf, and dude, there were sharks all over in the grass and everything swimming around.
Dude,
There's
it's
too many of
crazy.
them.
Yeah, there's too many of them.
Yeah.
Johnny Drennan, our good buddy, he has a pretty sweet
Raymond.
Freeman, and 29-footer. He thinks it's like the only 29-footer, or no, he says it isn't. It's the smallest one they make, but they used to make a 28-footer. So he says, no, we don't have the smallest one. It cracks me up, but it's both awesome. I mean, it hauls ass, cuts through waves, and he went out. Every time he's been out this year, he says the sharks are just
Miserable.
worse than ever. Yeah, he said they're totally miserable. Everything just gets sharked.
But I thought we had sharks bad though. But when I was working over in Texas in Port Lavaca, we went out wade fishing out there. Dude, there's sharks everywhere. You go out wade fishing and you just see fins everywhere.
Fuck with your stringer if you have like a stringer?
I didn't have a stringer fish, so I don't know. We caught like 3 fish the whole time we were there, probably, but we gave them hell.
You would have had a stringer though. Huh? Yeah, that would have been pretty.
But I have my grandpa's told me stories about him being right south of Port Lavaca's Port O'Connor, and he's told me stories about being down there and the sharks grabbing a hold of the stringers.
God, I bet.
I'd
We should
punch
have
it.
asked Chris Bush about that.
Yeah.
For Speckled Truth.
I would have been pissed. If
That
I had a
dude-
good trout day, I would have not let those sharks take them.
No, there's no way.
Yeah, I would act like an idiot and try to hit
Yeah,
it.
Like
Let go of it.
lose a couple fingers or lose the trout. The fingers will have to do.
Yeah, pretty much lost this pinky from Christmas. So that thing. I'll just put that in his face.
Make for a good story though.
Yeah, I would.
Not-
Oh, this?
We need to bring back those shark charters that go out there and just kill them.
Yeah.
And take pictures at the dock with big sharks.
Oh, we went on a shark charter out of Alabama. I know we were talking about y'all going to Alabama earlier.
Uh-huh.
It was one of my wife, one of her cousins. It was his birthday, and we went on a shark charter. And I ain't gonna lie, that was cool. They
Yeah.
call this guy the Shark Man because he literally. We went out during the breeding season, and he gives birth to these sharks.
He
After
fucks them.
he catch
He catches them,
He's like,
fucks them.
give me 15.
No, this dude would like catch a shark and he cut their bellies open to see if they had babies. Because if I'm not mistaken, sharks give live birth.
Mm-hmm.
And he cut one of them open and it had little baby sharks in it. And he sat there and let them go right there.
God, that's
And
cool.
you watch the little shark swim off. I'm like, he just performed a C-section on a shark.
in the sea. In the sea.
Yeah.
A C-section.
It was
in the
actually
sea.
right on the back dock of the Floribama.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh,
So everybody's like swimming in the water. He's letting little baby sharks go.
that's awesome.
That
I'm
was
gonna ask
cool.
for him. He goes out of Floribama.
Yeah, he goes out of Floribama right
Goes
there
by
on the
the
back
Shark
dock.
Man?
I don't know if that's what they call him around there.
Okay.
I'd have to get the name of him though. But that was a fun trip. We went right out of the mouth. We didn't go far. We trolled and caught a lot of Spanish mackerel. And then we sat right there and he said there's some type of tidal something right there. And we sat there and caught 5-6 foot sharks. I mean, that was a fight. That was fun.
Yeah. I love shark fishing at the beach.
Yeah,
That's pretty much the
Chilling
only
at
type
the
of fishing
beach.
I do, except for Pompano when I'm with
Pompano's fun, and then you go to Grand Island to wade. But Pompano is pretty fun. I want to wade out there and try to catch one on lures.
See,
Yeah.
I've never shark fished anywhere else, but I went in Lake Pontchartrain on the North Shore. I mean, like right by Man Shack.
you.
Like certain times of the year, they say it's a breeding ground for them. And dude, the amount of bull sharks in Lake Pontchartrain's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Our buddy's been smashing them in Lake
People don't
Pontchartrain,
believe
too.
me. Like we
Yeah.
went.
Dude, they're everywhere
Yeah.
out there. You just go out there and take a mullet and cut it up And you can sling it out by the power lines or anything, and it's like 10 minutes. You got a bull shark hooked up.
Let's go.
When we went out on the sailboat on Pontchartrain, I kept on saying, "Y'all, there's sharks in here," and everyone's like, "No, there is." And I'm like, "Well, my buddy caught it just over that way."
Yeah.
23
I just saw
miles.
10 of them.
Yeah.
Um,
They're everywhere.
they're everywhere.
They
I
got-
think they are more popular on y'all's side than our side, though.
I think the bull sharks are, but further to y'all side, they do get a lot. Well, no, y'all are on the South Shore. I mean,
South Shore's shitty.
yeah.
South Shore, yeah.
But like I know in our
Except
in
for the
Reno
shrimp.
Seafood Man Shack, they got a picture. One of the shrimpers caught like a 12-foot bull shark in a shrimp net
That's a people killer.
in Man Shack.
And a shrimp net killer. That poor bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah, could you imagine picking that thing out of a shrimp net?
Right, we're tangled all up in that thing. 12-footer. That would be so fun.
Mm-hmm.
I would kill it and take its jaws out.
Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt at all. And then
Have this cool tooth necklace and all.
Yeah.
puka shell with like 6 of them right here. That'd be bad to the bone.
Did y'all see that like activists are trying to make shark attack change to shark encounter? So if someone gets attacked, they call it a shark encounter. I saw that. I read an article the other day.
Wait, what'd you
They're
say?
trying to change the term shark attack to shark encounter.
Yeah, what's up with all these shark people that
Yeah, it's like that thing fucking attacked him. Right?
Yeah.
It's not an encounter. An
Yeah.
encounter is seeing one. If I get bit at a beach and I die, that is an attack.
Yeah, he attacked me
Yeah.
and won.
And one.
Luckily, it never happened to me.
Yeah, I would win, but
Yeah.
You have to be a big shark to take down me.
Yeah.
6'10". I'd hate to meet that shark.
Yes, me too. But I would just
I don't think the shark would have the balls to do that.
I don't
No.
know.
Big
They
one.
seem pretty aggressive.
Hit him in the nose.
That's what I've always heard. Poke them in the eyes or punch them in the nose.
Yeah.
It's like alligators too.
You can
pretty
reach,
much.
get 'em
punch
in the-
them right between the eyes.
Get him in the dick.
That's like I'm kind of nervous because I got a spear gun and
Oh.
I'm about to get into that.
Yes.
Like I went and got one. My grandpa, he had a bunch of old ones. He used to do it all over. And he gave me one of his old spear guns. So it's at the shop right now getting bands, but I'm just like biting at the bit for it to be done
How many bands is it?
too. It's like a perfect like sheep's head, catfish, little lake gun and all
Also,
that.
go get mango snappers out at some shallow. river.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too. And I was just like, I'm dying to go free dive and shoot some of just the sheep's head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I can go out there and shoot some, but that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
How friendly are the sharks out there?
They're not.
Our buddy goes out.
Austin Hibbs does. You're talking
Yeah,
about
I'm
Robert?
talking about Robert.
Oh, well, Austin Hibbs does Lake Pontchartrain.
So does Robert.
Yeah, Robert.
When he started, he would do
Lake
Lake
Pontchartrain.
Pontchartrain.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of people that do Pontchartrain. I have like 5 buddies who go out and they just like annihilate the catfish.
Oh,
Like, they shoot catfish out around Man Shack and they just destroy them. I mean,
Damn.
they kill the mess out of them.
He murks
Sheep's
sheep's head. Him
That-
and
that's
Robert
what I
mur- but sheep. I would rather go out to. If I did it, I would love to go out of Venice, and they got that. I mean, I bet they have it everywhere. But we went out, and they had like a million rigs just all
hop 'em.
around. Yeah, and you just hopped
Oh.
around. And like we would just stop, drop. You'd catch 10 sheephead, move to the next one, catch 5 spade fish, 10 sheephead. I was like, Jesus.
See, and
I
I've
want to
heard-
get underwater.
Yeah, that's what got me into that was I got a buddy, they do it like huge spear gun fishermen. Like they go like 50 miles offshore and
Or
go
cobia
they got
and
the whole
shit.
scuba
And
diving
tuna
gear
and
and go
stuff,
shoot
huh?
the big old amberjacks and all.
Yeah.
And that looks
That-
like fun.
Yeah, I want to do
Well, I
that.
That's a
jumped in
different
the
game.
water. I jumped in the water with them one day, just swimming around with the snorkel. And when you're in that blue water snorkeling around the rig, dude, it's awesome. I had like a 6-foot barracuda. Like when a barracuda comes up next to me
Uh,
and he's like almost
Barracuda.
same size as me, I'm like, I don't know about that.
that's when you shoot it.
Well,
in
I
the
didn't
head.
have a gun.
Put it in a headlock.
When I was in the Bahamas, we went spearfishing, and the guy who does it a lot told me to follow the barracudas. And we followed one, and we found a grouper under it.
Really?
But when he shot the grouper, I had to go down with him and then hold the spear because the barracuda is going to take it next.
What'd you say?
What I said? What do you mean?
Ooh.
Ooh, barracuda.
Barracuda.
But it was awesome. And he's like, follow. We followed it for like 10, 15 minutes. It was just going around, and then there was a grouper. They say they know where the fish are. and they're somewhat smart enough to know what you're doing.
See, they told me that those barracudas, like, you know how like a raccoon loves shiny stuff?
Yeah.
So they say barracudas are the same way. My buddy was telling me about that. He said his wife was in the water swimming with him while he was free diving. They had this giant barracuda, and he didn't see nothing, so he wanted to shoot the barracuda.
Yeah.
And she had her wedding ring on. And he said that he's following her, just eyeballing her the whole time because they love shiny stuff. And he said he told her, he's like, hey, come swim right in front of me. And he did, and the barracuda just went right perfect in front of me, shot him.
Yeah.
I was like, that's awesome. Yeah.
That's cool.
Use your wife as bait.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to try that one, except not
tell
shoot
her
the fish.
Where are you, true?
Kenzie, if you listen to this, I'm just playing.
That's a classic. This guy, Tracy Palsamano, he owns the boat yard. And he holds a world record for triple tail. And he only spearfishes. And the dude, I went duck hunting with him, and he had the craziest stories in the world. He once just jumped out of the boat because they didn't see anything, and they saw a shark, and they thought it was like a massive, like a nicer type of shark. And then he jumped in the water in front of it where it was swimming. He said it was like a 500-pound tiger shark.
That's not a nice one.
No, and he was like, "Oh, I fucked that one up." And then he was like,
not tell? It has the stripes.
I don't know. And then he wanted to shoot it. He was like, "Yeah." And then I said, "Fuck it, I might as well just shoot this thing and see what happens." He said he wasn't even. He was like, "What is that thing going to do to me?" I was like, "Murder you,
Bite you."
Yeah, it was going to kill you." And he was like, "Oh no, I mean nothing happened." I was like,
That
"Oh
time.
my god." He's like, "Oh yeah, they won't do anything to you." He's like, "I'll go swim with makos and stuff." I'm like, "You're nuts." He is
Talking about the
nuts.
triple tail, that's one thing I'm dying to do because I got the tower.
Yes.
I'm dying to go
Yes.
fish the crab pots in Lake Bourne, but I don't know when they say fish the crab pots in Lake Bourne. Do they mean like you go right out of the Wrigley's right there and do it, or do you have to go like down south, like south of the Biloxi Marsh, almost into the Sound to do it?
I think that's a better.
That's
bet.
what I figured. You had to go right around the Sound and all and do it.
You got to dedicate the day. Just go to different places.
Yeah, that's what I've been dying to do. Like, because like sometimes when you're scouting for redfish, you can stick somebody on the tower and just go right around. And when you're up there, they can sit there and count fish stuff. They call it burning the banks. Most of the tournaments have it illegal now, which it's a good thing because they destroy the water like that. Okay. But I want to go do that in the open water like that for the triple tail because they say you can see them just shining next to the crab pots. I've been dying to try that.
I heard sideways, right?
I heard that's when you bring live shrimp.
Oh yeah, I've heard the triple tail are very
but people,
finicky.
I mean, Cal Keller catches them on the fly.
He's
catch them
over it on the fly.
Fuck yeah, he does.
What did he put a live
here?
shrimp on the fly?
Well, Mississippian here.
What does he do? He puts a live shrimp on the fly.
No, he's good at it. You can catch them.
I don't know. I've heard you can catch them on the soft plies. I just heard it's a lot easier if you just.
I'm
go
throwing a
ahead and
live
use it.
shrimp at that.
I am.
fucker.
Yeah.
If I'm going fucking crab pot to crab pot for 4 hours, I see one. I ain't throwing.
Well,
a fly
let me grab my fly rod.
Yeah, fuck off with that. I'm throwing a shrimp on a cork most likely.
I'm gonna throw it free line.
No.
Let the shrimp sink in front of it.
I'm gonna put it on a cork and it'll be dancing.
The cork's
I'm a
gonna
shrimp.
spook when it lands.
Well, see, I've heard when you
No.
pull up and get close to the crab pot that the fish sink down. So you probably have to throw them like free lining or something like that.
You
to
can
get 'em
try
to eat
free
it.
lining.
Okay. You're driving the boat.
Mm.
I'm like, Ken, there's nothing here. Let me cast this real quick.
I don't know, Chase. Last time he outfished us.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, that's true.
The videos, I swear, they have they got I feel like you throw a cork past and then you reel it up to it. And then it starts dancing right in front of it.
Okay.
Then look. Ooh. That was the cork going down.
My
and
free
me
line's gonna
setting
go
up.
in like one of those Asian Chinese divers, super quiet. I'm gonna tell that.
Why they gotta be Asian, huh?
Because they won. They're the best. This 13-year-old had like 3 perfect dives in a row.
Yes, they are the
didn't
best at that
splash.
shit. Yes.
That's bad. You said Asian diver. I'm thinking you're talking about some type of bird or something. I didn't know you were talking about a legit
What's an
diver.
Asian diver?
I didn't either.
Oh, that Chinese girl?
Yeah, I didn't know you were talking about diving.
He's talking about Olympics. I mean, I thought he was talking about a bird or something that dives in the water.
I just heard Asian and I loved it.
He likes the Asians.
I do. I love Asians. I just got back from Vegas and I'm a baccarat guy.
Like
and
Bond.
and I only Asians play baccarat. I've learned, and
I don't even know what that is.
It's like a card game. It's
Casino Royale, the
James
Bond movie.
No
Oh well,
idea.
that's the poker game they're playing with Lashif. It's like your turn, Mr. Bond.
and
Every
it's
time I
awesome.
go to any casino, they're always the ones who are winning. Like they always have the money every
Yes.
time.
Except baccarat, you gotta try it out. It's insane. But they were awesome. These little Asians were amazing. I loved them.
Next time I go in a casino, I'm going to hover the Asians.
Yes. Well, duh. I mean, they win. They're little mathematicians. I mean, they are. That's what you do. You go with them, and then they win. And they were betting so much money. Like I would put in like $200 and like be like shaking. Yeah, like that's the biggest bet I've ever. I've never really bet 200. I normally go in a casino with $100, maybe 200. And now I'm like I'm like, let me put 200 in. And I look over, she's got like 10 grand in. And I'm like, oh my God. And she's cool as a cucumber. I'm like, my God. But it was awesome. Baccarat. It's an awesome game.
I'm going to call you Lashif from now on.
Yes, Panda. Call me the Panda.
No, Lashif.
But that was awesome. And then triple tail fishing.
Yes, Galt is good at that.
Galt.
Third best in
Galt's
Louisiana.
holding one of the records
Yeah.
for Louisiana.
He was going to come on the podcast and canceled or rescheduled because he went triple tail fishing. Boom, caught the record.
Oh, really? I
Or
remember
like-
seeing the picture of that thing. That
Yeah.
thing was ridiculous.
Like, thank God you
Ridiculous.
rescheduled.
Yeah.
What was it? I almost said something stupid.
I want
It
to say it
looked
was
like
like
my body size.
32 pounds. or
Yeah, I think it
something
was like
that.
32,
Wow.
33
Yeah.
pounds.
That's it, dude.
Holding it up, it's so wild.
I think I posted it. I think we can
I've
find
never
this
caught
out.
one. I wonder how they fight.
they jump.
I heard they fight like real hard.
Really?
Yeah.
Some people say they're the favorite.
We're going to have to test that out.
Yeah.
Because right now is the time of year, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're going
Around
to have to
time.
go.
Yeah, we
That's
got to
like
text
pissed,
We have
Kel.
to go.
Yeah.
One of our
Cal
buddies
spots.
like really targets him and like does pretty
Really?
well.
He does that in Mississippi where you can find more like I don't know if I'm saying blue water, but deeper water crab pots, and he runs them hard out there. Born, like you're saying, you have to run a little more south
Yeah.
probably, but that's not an issue. You go out of Shell Beach or Hotel
Oh,
Marina.
yeah.
Or just launch even farther down.
Yeah.
Yeah, go out of Port Sulphur or something
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I
yeah,
launched
yeah.
out of Hopedale the other day. We went trout fishing and we went to the edge of Eloy or Eloy,
Yeah.
how do you say it?
Mhm.
And I mean, it only took us like 15 minutes to get there. I didn't realize Hopedale was that close to the open sound and all that.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's not.
Looks
The
like-
dolphins are everywhere.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I haven't seen a dolphin in a while.
Yeah.
Go down there. I promise you'll see them. Because literally, like that day, we caught 32 trout. They were keeping size. I think we picked through a lot of little ones. But you'd run out there and you'd find a point and you'd pull up in every cast. You wouldn't even have to pop your cork. As soon as it hit the water, it'd eat it. And you only had about 5 to 10 minutes of doing that. And then the dolphins came.
So they're probably following the boat.
Oh,
They
yeah.
probably know what's going on.
Are dolphins bad? Some people say they don't really care.
Well,
What do you- but-
From every experience I've had, dolphins, it depends on the trout. Because, like, sometimes I'll pull up and I've never noticed it not affect the trout, but I think it depends on how the dolphins are acting. Because sometimes the dolphins are blowing up right under where your cork is.
right.
And then sometimes they're staying away from the boat. And they stay away from the boat a little ways out and they're feeding out that away. It don't seem like it
You
bothers
can
them.
push them in too, maybe.
Yeah, it could
Yeah.
push them closer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always wondered. Because Henry is a massive fan of, he's like, oh, fuck those dolphins. They ain't going to do anything to us. I'm like, all right, I'll keep fishing.
I hooked the dolphin once. It's pretty
No,
exhilarating. Yeah,
what
with Devin.
happened?
He shot off, spun the water, shot again, and the hook
Devin
came back.
who?
Devin Houston took us on a fishing trip in high school,
Oh, yeah.
and the hook was just flat.
So I watched my buddy hook a dolphin. He was sitting there and the dolphins kept blowing by. And every time they come by, the trout bite would just shut off.
Yeah.
So then the dolphins come by in like super shallow water and he just threw out his hook and snagged one. And it was like all of 2 seconds before he snapped like 40-pound line. I was like,
They're strong.
Jesus. Oh, yeah.
And smart.
Oh, yeah. They're super smart.
And
Have y'all
rapey.
seen the videos of the guys having
And
them?
rapey.
See, the problem is everybody's feeding them too. Have y'all seen all the videos of people shaking trout in the water and the dolphins
Like
eating
his
them out
sister.
of their hand?
We fed, so in Florida, we used to fish there a lot, and there was a bunch of dolphins fucking with us. And my sister, we look back, we're trying to catch fish. I think trout at the time, and she's dumping our bait. We had croakers, just dumping it in the water. The dolphins are sitting there, their head out, eating it. I'm like, stop, no. It's like, feed up. We lost all our bait. Scooping it.
Those bastards.
Yeah.
Those bastards.
But they will, in Florida, they come up and stick their head out the water and like make noises.
They are fun.
Really? See, I've never heard a dolphin make a noise. I always see it.
Yeah.
I always see it, but I ain't never heard of it.
That was pretty cool when they stuck their head out to us.
They're pretty fun.
And in Alabama, I was trolling a mullet on the side of the boat because I was bleeding. I was letting it bleed out, and a dolphin came up and yanked it off right out the boat. I was like, what the? I thought it was a shark. It scared me. Then my sister's like, give it to it. Like, it took it.
I kind of like dolphin, even though like I don't like seeing
They're
them
rapey.
when I'm fishing. They are rapey.
They'll rape you.
They will, but
Have you seen the dolphins at SeaWorld start humping you?
but they do cool shit.
Yeah, raping is not cool. Okay?
No, but backflips are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Double backflips are pretty cool. When you just jump out of the water and you do a backflip and then land, then you skate across the water and tail go. I mean, that shit's pretty cool.
I read
can't do
online they
that.
also bully sharks just out of nowhere.
They do.
They'll fuck up a shark.
They mess with like great whites and
And like
stuff.
sharks don't mess with them. They mess with sharks.
Yeah.
They are the antagonizer.
Yeah.
It's like we thought sharks were bad guys. Sharks are just minding their own business. A bunch of dolphins will come up like, what the fuck you doing here? And just start fucking with
You
it.
can go ride a dolphin.
Okay. They'll ride you after. Be careful.
Yeah, they will.
Rapey things.
Bring it on. Rapey. They are. And they aren't they like mean to
I bet they're the bullies of everything.
yeah, I think so.
Except killer whales are like the big bad bullies.
Nah, you probably beat up a killer whale.
'Cause
they gang up like
Yeah.
wolves.
No. Killer whales will gang. The killer whales are never going solo. They're always riding in packs.
There's always at least like three.
Yeah, have you
I was
seen-
watching a video of them in the phone while I was
Yeah.
waiting in the car. And there's this killer whale coming up and just like explodes on this guy's boat because the seal was like holding on to the side of his boat.
That video is awesome.
I would have pushed the seal off and say, "Hey, get out of here."
Get outta
Have you seen them flick the seals up in the air? Just like
Yeah, that's
Plug
for
'em?
damn talk. Those are awesome.
Have y'all ever seen the guys that troll the like rubber seal shapes
So
and the
cool.
great whites
Yeah.
come up and smack them?
Well, I don't like. I would love to do that on like the coast of South Africa and just throw hooks on it.
yeah, hook a bitch. Let's have a
And
little fight.
I
Yeah.
want to try to fight a great white.
Just got the strongest pound test.
Is it
known to man.
extremely illegal?
Not in
No,
South Africa.
I've heard of people because every year, or I remember a while back, they track great whites, and there's a couple of them that come into the Gulf.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw it the other day.
And they said there's people that go out there and try and catch the damn
The
thing.
trackers that
They
follow
said
them.
there's people who go out there and try and catch them.
I love.
I was
that.
looking it up at work. There was a few at Key West and then Mexico. We had some mako sharks off the coast of Louisiana.
I want to catch a fucking
Yeah.
15-foot mako.
Dude, don't
so
those
bad.
makos swim like 60 miles
Or
an hour? Could you
faster.
imagine hooking something and it just take off at like 60?
Yeah,
Oh,
just
dude.
That'd
hooking
be
the boat.
ridiculous.
It'd be awesome.
Imagine
And they're
the
like
boat
they're so
going.
aggressive. So I
Yeah.
think they're like they will get to see, like they will swim 60.
Imagine
Like, just
driving the
keep
boat at
going.
full speed and you're still cranking, trying to catch it.
Oh,
Or it's still taking
insane.
line.
Yeah, really.
My buddy Bradley's caught a massive mako.
They all. They
Like,
also caught a great white off the coast of Florida 2 years ago.
And this year they caught a great white off of the coast of not Martha's Vineyard, but like right around there.
Like Connecticut area.
Boston
Boston,
area.
Massachusetts area. That's pretty
Mhm.
cool. I'd love to catch a great white.
Boston, Mass.
I'd love to.
You couldn't pay me to go to Boston. I don't care what I'm catching.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gas
no.
stations close at 8 o'clock, just to let you know. We got
You
all
could
this
pay
stuff.
me to go. Someone did pay
We
me
did.
and I went. Yeah. We drove there. We drove 24 hours straight there
Yeah.
because someone paid us. But it was awesome. We also got to stay at a pretty nice house.
Mhm.
It was fun. Now I'm driving to Maine in a Labor Day weekend by myself. 27
Wait,
hours.
the weekend or week?
I'm leaving Friday, getting back
So you're missing
Tuesday.
Labor Day.
Yeah.
Dang.
See, I don't think I've ever left, like, I guess the Dixie, they call it.
Yeah.
Like, I've been to Tennessee, Florida, and Texas.
Stay
That's
below
all
the
I
Mason
go.
Dixon.
That's like,
Yeah.
if I get vacation time or get a vacation or time off, I don't go on vacations. I go to my grandparents' house. It's
Yeah.
vacation up there.
Yeah, that is nice.
I love it
the
up there.
West Coast, you don't need to go to, obviously.
West is so fucking cool though.
Northwest.
West is unbelievable.
But
No,
West
just
Coast.
West.
I'm with
Like
you.
Colorado's sick.
I've always wanted to go
Nevada's
to Colorado.
sick.
Utah, I really liked. I
Yeah,
wanna go to
Utah's the
Montana.
coolest state. Montana's unbelievable.
I want to fly fish those rivers.
I've always wanted to do that. Go up there and go fly fish. But they say you catch a fish that's like this big, and then it's just like, oh my gosh, that's such a rare fish or something like that. It's like, woohoo.
Yeah, it ain't the same, man.
Go
Couldn't
stick a
agree
red
more.
fish on a fly rod.
But then
and then you can't even touch the fish.
you can go down to South America, and those fish are just like this. Out in
Really?
Argentina, yeah, they have this huge trout down there. I want to try. Then you're in South America too.
I want to go catch the peacock bass.
Yeah,
so
Dude,
bad.
those look awesome.
They
Yeah.
look so cool. They have them in Miami.
Really?
Yeah, you can get them on
Oh
the side
yeah,
of the road.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, but you got to use like shiners. They're pretty tricky to catch.
That's that Mako.
Yeah.
Makos are beautiful. They're so light blue,
They're
right?
sick. And they got those big dark eyes.
Look
Yeah.
at that tail. That tail is huge.
Huge.
That's a mountain.
No
one. He
wonder
has to
they
pay
can
the money.
swim.
And then look, if you scroll to his fuck me. That's its jaw.
Damn.
That's sick.
They kept it.
Yeah.
Did they eat it? See, I know. Like I've
I
ate
don't know.
bull shark before. They stink to clean, but dude,
They're
they're good.
I want
What
to.
else do you
tastes
like?
good.
Black tip? Yeah.
I want to. I've never tried it,
See, I've heard the black tip.
but that's people actually catch them and eat them frequently.
They say the bull sharks are good too. Like I said, I ate it one time that I can remember, and fried it was good, but grilled it was.
So they really stink that bad to clean.
It's not like so stinky you can't withstand it, but it don't smell good.
And
Okay.
how
It almost
thick is
smells
their
like
skin?
like oh, dude, their skin. Have you ever skinned a gar?
No,
You never skinned a gar,
we've never
Nah,
even
I'm
tried
going
it.
back, yeah.
dude. Gar? I never ate gar.
We've heard it's pretty good.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh, y'all got to go eat gar.
We got to keep them. We
So-
catch them.
Yeah,
My
we
thing
catch 'em.
is
I
with-
caught a huge one last week.
with gar. I only like to eat them if they're 4 foot or smaller.
Okay.
I don't catch small fish like that.
Oh yeah. No, but like we used to go gar fishing. It's crazy how you catch them. My buddy showed me. You literally go out there and sling a mullet, and you put the hooks. You run a steel leader through his ass and out his mouth with 2 hooks coming out his mouth. And when the gar eat it, they come and they pick it up and they run with it. And as they're running with it, they scale it, and then they stop. And you sit there, and the whole time you have a gar on your fishing rod, and you're just like
Can't do it.
freaking out because
Yeah.
you're not setting a hook or nothing. You're just watching this fish run. You got like 500 yards of line,
Mhm.
and he stops, and then he runs again, and he like chews it up or something like that, and then he stops a second time. And they say on the second stop, or at the end of the second run, he swallows it. So when he starts running the third time, you just lay into him. And it's like, it's not even really a fight. It's just like pulling in a log. Like you feel like you stuck to a log, but no, we catch them and we fry them. Like I've ate them grilled and all, and I don't like them like that. It tastes
Yeah.
like chicken to me.
Yeah.
But you cut them real like thin strips and fry them. They taste like very tender alligator.
Dang, I like that.
Shit.
Also, the
I
gar
love
balls sound good. When
See, I've
people
never
blend
had the
them up.
gar balls. I've been wanting to try that.
Yeah, I heard they're good.
Also wanted to try taking the sheep's head and stuff and like boiling it in crab boil. And
I've
they
never
say
done that.
they make like the meat just like flakes off, and they make crab dip out of it and stuff like that. They said
Oh,
it tastes just like
fuck.
artificial
you
crab.
you skin it off the skin and you just put a fillet in there.
Yeah, they said they take like I've heard some people say they take crawfish sack or like a pantyhose or something like that
man.
and boil them in that, and they say you make like a crab dip with them, and it's delicious.
That sounds
Because I love
Yeah,
sheep's head
sounds
anyway.
delicious.
And that
Oh yeah,
sounds good.
sheep's head in general is a good fish to eat.
Yeah.
Like everybody's like, oh, I ain't keeping that trash fish. I'm like, I'll skin them.
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
hates to skin them just because of the dorsal fin.
It
That's
ain't
it.
that bad.
No, it ain't that.
I
bad
like
at
that
all.
though because more for us.
I'd rather
Yeah.
clean a sheep head than a big redfish.
And I'm always, oh yeah,
Than like a 28, 30-inch redfish. Fuck, I would much
Yeah.
rather
With your
5
blade.
sheep heads.
Well, y'all know me from like that day. I don't keep a fish over like
Yeah.
25 inches.
Yeah.
I kind of
25, 24 inches is a little big still.
Yeah,
I like them
I'm with
18 to 20 inches. That's
Yeah.
where I like them.
I like a 18, 22. I'll go 22. Sometimes I love throw that bitch on the grill.
Yeah, I wore myself out on grilling them. I can't even eat them like that
Yeah.
no more. I eat so many of them
Wait, what was that?
on my recipe.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you're trying to share, if not,
Oh, I don't mind sharing that one. So you take that redfish and put it on the half shell, and you'd use lemon pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, salt, pepper. I've dumped a little bit of crab oil on them before,
Oh.
and it is pretty good, but you don't use too much to get hot. And cayenne pepper, and then you cover it in olive oil, tomatoes, and lemon. And I don't like tomatoes. I hate tomatoes.
Tomato slices, right?
Yeah, you slice the tomatoes and lay it on top of the fish where it looks nice and pretty,
Mm-hmm.
and it gives it some type of flavor. And I hate tomatoes. Like I will not touch a tomato.
Yeah, I don't like tomatoes.
But on that is like gives it the best flavor in the world. And then you just
Holy
put like a whole stick of butter on top of it and then bake it. Dude, that is like that's my favorite.
We got redfish. We got to do that.
Yeah, we gotta do that maybe tomorrow
Holy
night.
shit, yeah.
I think I sent you the recipe.
Yeah, you
didn't
did.
I? I was
Yeah,
about
you
to
did.
say I need to cook
screenshot.
some. I ain't cooked last. Like I learned how to blacken fish finally. Like I've never done it before. I was like, I'm gonna try it. And Gritter, the tournament director for the Redfish World Series, he makes this stuff called Gritter Black. Oh, dude, it's awesome. It's a blackening season. Oh, it's awesome.
I love
And
blackening.
dude, I blacken those redfish and trout with that. And I make a crawfish cream sauce and pour it over noodles. Oh,
Shit,
you can't beat that.
that sounds good. That was like once when me and Richmond made that crawfish cream sauce. Once
Yeah.
me and the boar, our buddy Richmond, me and him went fishing, caught some reds. Then we found this seasoning, or no, we found this video on TikTok where it was like crawfish cream based thing, and then we started adding our own little flares to it. By the end of it, we probably had like a ton of half and half in it, a ton of butter. I mean, this thing was just a heart
That's all
attack.
mine
Yeah.
is. I make like a roux out of flour and butter, and then I pour like a gallon of half and half.
That's pretty much what
and
we
then
did.
like a gallon of Parmesan cheese and mix it together and then season it and throw crawfish and shrimp in there.
That's what we did, and it was fucking phenomenal.
Oh, it's the best thing ever.
Oh, it was so good. But I don't want to keep you here too long. I know you got a long drive. I got one last question, and this is the Coors Pure organic barley,
Take a sip.
organic hops, and water question. What is your top 2 favorite fishing story? Doesn't have to be one day I went out and caught 100 fish, blah, blah, blah. Just whatever one comes to your mind where it's like that was one of my favorite days.
Man, as far as favorite fishing stories,
Hitting you with a tough one.
It is
It's a tough
it
question.
really is a tough one because I go fishing so much and have so many good days that are just
Yeah.
a blast. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. One of my favorite things in the world is to bring my dad out and go trout fishing.
Mhm.
And my dad just loves trout fishing. So when he's sitting there catching trout, he's just having a blast. He's in the back of the boat just talking all kinds of shit and everything. And it's hilarious because me and my dad are just alike. Like I love my dad to death. And it's just hilarious. But I mean, one of my favorite fishing days I can say for sure is my wife. So her dad, he was a huge outdoor writer, excellent outdoorsman. I mean, like he brought me out perch jerking one day and we went on the Pearl somewhere. And I'm not kidding. I bet we caught 500 bluegill that were all hand size or bigger on these gulp crickets. They're a soft plastic scented cricket. And since then, I bought a shit ton of them.
Yeah.
But like, dude, he brought me out doing that. And I ain't gonna lie, that was probably one of the funnest days of fishing I've ever had, was definitely catching perch that
That's
day.
awesome.
And then we got back and we didn't have to skin them. He said he had somebody to skin them or something like that.
I was
So
about
I'm
to
like,
ask,
that's
who
even
the
better.
hell is skinning all those shit?
But no, we went and made a trip out in Fushan one year. It was me, my brother, his friend, my dad, and my wife. Well, me, my dad, and my wife were fishing out of my boat. And we went out And I went up on this spot. There's just a dead end canal in the middle of Fouchon. And I hate fishing Fouchon because it's nothing but bull reds ever.
Yeah.
Like that I can find at least. And we go down this canal, and my dad's never really caught a whole lot of redfish at this point. This was like when I was first getting into it. And we go down, there's just this school of tailing bull reds right in the middle of the canal. And we go out and just start fan casting. He hooked up, and he loved it. He loved it right there. And then, oh yeah, and then we got ran out by one of the crabbers about 10 minutes later.
Oh,
he come in there griping at us. I know you seen all the damn signs on the way in. Like, I swear I didn't see them.
All I saw were those bull reds.
Yeah, all I saw was the bull reds. Hey, they're eating your crabs. Why are you getting mad at me for catching them? You're a crabber. I'm a red fisherman. I'm helping you out.
Yes.
But
Damn,
that's
a great point.
And then we went out later that evening, me and my wife did. And her dad, like I said, he got her addicted to push button Zebcos.
Okay.
And she, like, for the longest, she wouldn't fish without one. That's all she'll throw. Like, if she doesn't have a push button Zebco.
Do they make pretty nice ones of that?
So they actually do. He was telling me about one. And believe it or not, they actually get pretty pricey, like $100 for a Zebco.
That's pricey.
But, like, it's a good Zebco. Like, a lot of guys I know trout fish with them now because you can't beat them. I mean, you can outcast any reel you put on your rod with a Zebco.
Really?
Hands down.
Damn.
Those Zebcos can cast a mile. But so I had her like a little cheap Zebco 33 from Academy with like 50-pound braid on it. So it bird nest every cast. And she is the most competitive person in the entire world.
Love it.
And we went out that day, and she's on the front of the boat just fishing as hard as she can. I mean, she's just
beating you,
sticking one, and she's talking shit. There she goes. Oh, looky there. There's another one. What? Oh, you ain't got one yet? I mean, it's just hilarious to watch her. She's just like a blast to fish with because she's so competitive. Like, I literally did redfishing professionally, and if she doesn't beat me, catch more redfish than me when we go out, like it's over. She's mad the rest of the day, and it's hilarious. And that's everything she does. It doesn't matter what it is.
Oh, that's awesome.
But man, I've got so many fun fishing trips. It's hard to top one over the other. Like I said, I really enjoy a lot bringing people out and get them to see, like my grandpa. The first time he came down and we got to take him out in our marsh fishing, and he had a blast. He loved it because that houseboat in Pointe-aux-Chenes that we rent, the lights on it are unreal. You sit there and double, triple rig, and you're catching 2, 3 at a time.
Damn,
and he sat on the back of that dock till like 4 o'clock in the morning the first night catched him. And I just love that. Like that's what makes me happier than anything. Just see other people enjoying catfish. Like when we went out, y'all guys had a blast. Like I loved y'all. I love seeing y'all's reaction doing that.
Hell yeah.
That's just like my favorite thing.
And it's got to be fun bringing people in the tower for their first time because it really is a different experience from even just sight fishing. I mean, when you're up
seeing
there,
the marsh.
Yeah.
I've personally never seen it like that because I'm shorter.
Yeah.
Seeing that much area.
You still haven't seen it like Kyle.
No, I'm gonna bring another stool so I can get
just like
experience.
If you want to see it like I do, just like go on your phone and type in Google Earth. That's how it looks.
Might need to hop on your shoulders one day. We can make a tower.
People who get on the tower for the first time, they're just like,
and it's awesome.
Like most of the people, they've been red fishing 1,000 times. The people I bring, and they're bank beating, watching pushes, catching them like that. And when they step on that tower, they're like, I don't think that I can go beat the banks ever again. Like, it's like, I have to be elevated now. Like, because you can literally see a redfish at 50, 60 yards away and cast at him and watch him just annihilate it.
It's crazy. It really is. Like, it's unbelievable how sweet the tower is.
And that new tower I got's a lot better. Like, I wish y'all could have come out on my old tower, just see Frog Daddy over in Madisonville or Covington. He built that tower, man. That's top of the line right there. That's the best towers I've seen. And
badass.
Dude, that old tower, it had nothing to hold on to. It was about 2 foot of foot space, and 2 of us would stand sideways up there, and we'd still just wreck the fish. I don't know how nobody fell off of it.
That amazes me.
Still amazing.
Like even just like like you set the hook, the thing breaks off, and you just like fall right.
Now I've almost come off of it a few times. Sitting there, I see a fish, and I forget the wind's blowing 20 miles an hour. I'm casting, all of a sudden, bank, about to go out the front of the boat.
Shit. The new one, it's tough to fall off of that thing.
Oh yeah, I mean, that new one, it's so stable, and there's so much room, and the bars at the perfect height. Yeah,
and or uncomfortable. I mean, we had two big guys.
One little girl.
And there was a lot of room. And there was a lot of room though.
Yeah. See, and that was my first time doing 3 people off of it. And I was really surprised. Like it fished all 3 of us good. The only thing I was worried about was like how was the middle person going to cast. But like I said, you fished the middle all day and you caught more fish than any of us.
So he gets the middle next time.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I mean, it really wasn't bad.
Well, the sides are pretty nice.
Yeah, the sides are
side
nice.
cast.
Yeah.
Next time we may just give him the net.
Yeah.
Give him a 30-minute candy cap, or us a 30-minute.
Give him the net and a pair of gloves so he can unhook them.
Got another one.
I got you. But fuck yeah. Next time I might bring out the camera.
Hook it up on the front of the bar.
Well, you were talking about doing it the whole time, but you're like, there's so many fish. I can't waste time by going to get the camera.
It's too good of an experience.
But no, I do have to say one thing. So I do have something in my mind that was probably the most exhilarating, exciting experience ever. We were fishing the Power Pole redfish. It was the Go Live tournament. So every fish you catch.
The Facebook one that was live.
You go live every time you catch a fish. So theirs is different. You catch fish by weight instead of length. So you don't measure the fish. They give you a special scale and everything.
Holy shit.
You have to video you reeling the fish in, netting the fish, unhooking the fish, zeroing out the scale, and then weighing the fish and releasing him. So we had one, and I'm sitting there, and we're up there. I mean, we're sitting in like 12th, I think it is, out of a boat of like 50 anglers. And I look out, we're in Point of Shin, my favorite spot, and I see the day before there was redfish everywhere. Well, then we come out now and there's just like not a whole lot of fish. And I see this school go off and they disappeared. When like 20 minutes later, you see the school. I could barely see them floating up, and I cast out there and I hooked. And I just like looked at my partner. I'm like, get down and get the net. Like, this is a good fish. Like, he's right there, because you could only catch them up to 8 pounds. They had to be 8.00 or less.
Oh, shit.
So they had to be exactly 8 or less. So I'm sitting there, I'm fighting this fish. I'm like, dude, that fish is like right there. Like, this is a great fish to put in the boat. And we get him in, we unhook him and all. We're both like shaking, excited, lift him up. And scale just starts jumping. 8.01, 8.02, 8.01, 8.00. And it locked in right there.
8.00.
It's just like 8.00, and it's just like ecstatic when you hook something like that, especially in a tournament that big.
Oh, fuck yeah. Like, Josh Gold was in that tournament.
Yeah. There was a lot of people that caught a lot of 8-pounders perfect that day. Like I said, dude, the field we fish against, they have some great anglers. I mean, like, hands down, those are the best anglers for redfish in Louisiana for sure.
In the world.
For sure. In the world, because they come in from Florida and all that shit.
Best in the world.
Yeah. And like, that's the thing. Like, everybody's got their home turf. Like Louisiana and stuff. There's a lot of Texas guys who fish Louisiana hard, and they do good in our marsh. But like, when we go to Texas, we do okay. We're not the best in Texas. Yeah. But like, it's just crazy. I mean, I love it out there. And then earlier that day, the other fish we weighed, I hooked him with a popping cork, and he snapped off with my cork. So I called the tournament director. I'm like, hey, can we hook the cork that our fish we just lost is connected to and land this fish and it count? He's like, yeah, there's nothing in the tournament rules that's against it. He said, as long as it is your line in his mouth. I'm like, yeah. I said, I wouldn't be calling you. I ain't hooked the fish yet.
Yeah.
I ain't videoed or nothing like that. I was like, I just want to get this fish in the boat, because when I hooked him, I saw him come up and he was a good one. So then we're sitting there, and it's been like 30 minutes, and you just see this 4-horseman cork going down the bank. And I had a bugs jig on, and I just slung it like 60 yards, and I stuck the cork.
Oh,
And got that fish in the boat. He was like 7.62.
Holy
like
shit.
I was like, we were stoked after that. And the worst part about it is everybody we fished against did so good. We had a perfect 8 and like a 7.62.
yeah.
And we stayed in 12th.
Holy balls.
Oh, yeah.
And y'all caught your cork.
Yeah,
Caught the cork.
that's
for the other
exhilarating.
weighable fish.
That must have been a
was
scary
blast.
fight too, in a way. Like,
Yeah.
It was because
don't
you
have,
like don't know if the line's gonna pop again or what's going on.
and you just have it on a cork. Like, I feel like that hook set can't be that unbelievable.
Plus, you know how them bugs jigs hooks are. It's just hooked around the cork.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, oh, that's great.
That's great.
Well, Kyle, thank you again for coming on. This was a fun one. Come on whenever you want. Just give us a call. We'll be happy to have you on
I had a
anytime.
blast talking to y'all guys, and we definitely going fishing again soon.
Yeah.
Triple tail.
I'm into going to triple
We
tail
have to go
trip.
do everything. We have to go do diving, triple tail,
Yes.
trout, redfish. See, we got to go out and hit a trout in the morning, then redfish midday.
Yeah.
And October is the best time to do that. We're
Let's
going to
do
have to
it.
get up.
And now October's cleared up. We
Yeah.
had all this shit planned. We wanted our tournament in October.
The Jazz Fest, all the fests.
Yeah, we had all the fests. Now there's 0 fest. Now I don't know if we can move it, or we're not gonna move it.
I mean, September's still a great time.
It's gonna be a good year.
Yeah, I would say September in general. Like, I was looking at the weather today, and it's supposed to start dropping in the 80s later this week. I'm hoping and praying it stays there.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. I heard this weekend's gonna be 100 degrees.
Well, I'm gonna be inside working, so
I'll be
Working it.
outside working.
I'm gonna be at a wedding dancing. Ooh,
well, I'm gonna be at that wedding too. Don't worry.
you're like, ooh,
That's at 5 o'clock. The clock is
SPP
over.
crashing a wedding.
We're not crashing. We got invited.
Yeah, it's one of our best friend sisters.
Yeah.
But thanks for listening. Thanks again for coming on, and tight lines.